Hello everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. In this part, we're gonna be exploring around Outset Island a little bit more. So, here is Beetle and his shop ship. Beetle pretty much premiered inside The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker and sort of became a semi-staple in the series. Not entirely, he's not in Twilight Princess, but he is in other Zelda games and is inside Skyward Sword, for example. But go inside here and you can buy yourself the bait bag. The bait bag is very useful later on in the game because you can store two different types of bait inside it. You can store either berries, which is known as all-purpose bait, which can be used to fill out your sea chart or to get special little treasures from rats, and a hoi pear. Hoi pears are useful for controlling seagulls. When you get one, you will basically be able to control a seagull and fly around the entirety of a map square and do whatever it is that you need to do. Hoi pears are very situational, which is why I'm only going to be buying about 2, maybe 3 or 4 inside of this entire playthrough. But what you're gonna mainly need is the all-purpose bait. But as Beetle ends up saying, as our point count keeps on going up, we end up becoming members with Beetle. The more things you buy from Beetle, the more points you accumulate. Once we get to 30 points, we will become a silver member, which will get us a nice little reward. And then we can become, I believe it is either a platinum member, is what Beetle goes up to. Either way, this is actually a side quest inside the game that once you end up completing it will net you a piece of heart. What is a piece of heart? For those who have never played a Zelda game, pretty much collect 4 of those and your total heart count will go up by 1, as opposed to a heart container, which is a complete heart piece, which will pretty much increase your thing fully by 1. You can get the heart containers by beating bosses in dungeons, and you can get heart pieces by doing side quests, finding them around inside treasure chests, finding them inside sea charts, and other things that we'll be getting to later throughout the game, because this is going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen, which is why I kind of decided to do it post-commentary, because otherwise, you never know. But here's where apparently that hooligan younger brother lives, so why don't we talk to him? Ladies and gentlemen, meet Orca. You're one to talk. Roll him to the wall, huh? Okay. Oops. Yeah, a little bit of a sibling rivalry we got here, it seems. Ooh. Sure, why not? I've got nothing better to do. I mean, my sister can wait. Master. Okie dokie. So, pretty much this tutorial right here is just to teach you how to use a sword. You'll have to do this automatically. I was hoping that when I ended up selecting this, I'd be able to go through the full tutorial and then would be able to skip it for the second part. Unfortunately, that turned out to not be the case, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to do this twice. So really, that's just my fault in general. Now, what I find to be the hardest one is the thrust right here, because if you screw up, like so, he knocks you down, and then screeches like a banshee. I hate doing the thrust, because sometimes you do it, but then sometimes he goes, no, you didn't do it right. I'm gonna knock you down. But that is all we get to learn for swordplay right now. Oh. Oh, but that'd be fine. I'm old enough. I'm an adult. I'm wearing the green clothes, see? Can I please have a sword, master? Fine, I'll try again in about, I don't know, 5. Yeah, about 5 minutes, I'll try again. All right, so I think it's time we go to see our sister now because, you know, Grandma isn't one to be kept waiting, which is why I kept her waiting an entire part. I'm just the pinnacle of good grandchildren. Ah, great, snot-nosed kid following me. What do you want? Yes, that's why I'm dripping wet, because I jumped into the water. That is a little touch that I really like about Wind Waker. They have it that if you get wet for a bit and get out, Link will actually have little water droplets falling off of him. It's a surprisingly really good detail for a game that came out in 2002, 2003 in the United States. So, let's climb up and see our sister. So, Ariel! There's a lot of seagulls. Reminds me of my town. Yes, she did. She's making me wear it for one whole day. You're lucky you don't have to go through this. And why does everybody keep mentioning the heat? You know, I'm trying to ignore it because it's probably burning hot inside those clothes. Just for one day? Something's telling me it's gonna be longer than a day. And we got the telescope. This is your sister's most precious belonging. Treasure it dearly. Oh, I will. And by will, I mean I will never use this thing. Okay. So, what you do is hit the start button and you can assign it to any of the buttons. So, let's assign it to the Y button. And something's by the mailbox. Why, it's our friendly postman, Birdman! Birdman seems to be freaking out. What would freak out Birdman? I mean, it is Birdman. Oh. Bigger bird! Yes, that would freak me out too. Boom! You know, Link's very good at tracking with this telescope. Well, that's not good. I know! I can get a shield! I heard the Sora kid in Kingdom Hearts managed to do pretty well with one of those. But yes, we're gonna need to go and get a sword, so 3 minutes, close to 5 minutes. Yeah, it's been about 5 minutes. So, Orca, I need that sword. Am I old enough now? It took about 5 minutes for me to get old enough to be able to use a sword. I just love that logic. But if you talk to this girl right here, she will actually react to the fact that this was actually a thing and give you another tutorial. Something that's not really as useful. And that is throwing rocks at people. Sadly, it does not have the same weight as it did inside of the 2D Zelda games, more specifically A Link to the Past. Which is kind of sad, because I loved throwing things at enemies in A Link to the Past. But, Orca, I need a sword. Orca, help me. Yes, something terrible has happened. A giant bird freaked out our postman. Oh yeah, and a girl fell into the forest up there. So, yes, I'm ready for some serious sword training. Master. So yes, unfortunately, you have to start over again. And this is something that I did not mean to do, which is why I'm kind of punishing myself right there because, you know, I was kind of an idiot. So, let us do this. So now we need to do the vertical slice, L target and B, which is pretty much gonna be the move I use a lot in this game, is gonna be L target and B. And now for the thrust, something I'm probably never going to use because of my memories of screwing it up and getting hit down and having him scream at like a banshee at me. Why does he scream like a banshee? And now we have the spin attack. There are two ways to do the spin attack. You can end up rotating the analog stick and then hitting the B button. Unfortunately, I get the timing wrong for that all the time, so you're better off just holding the B button in order to do this. So let's try again. And now for something new that The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker added in. Those are action commands. Wait for the A button to turn a special little symbol, and you can do attacks like the parry attack. This move would actually make its way into Twilight Princess, with a lot of other moves actually from Wind Waker making their way into Twilight Princess as full-on moves. So, jump attack for our final one. So, boom, baby. So, am I ready to use a sword now? Sweet! Best birthday present ever! We got a sword! So you accepted the hero sword, wield it with B. Use it wisely and carefully. You don't want to let down the kind old man who has entrusted it to you. I'm going to abuse this thing like crazy. And become the terror of the seas, known as Link, the Potbreaker. I shall be strong, master. Next time you see me, you'll probably be on a wanted poster. Alright, so gotta be thorough here. Pots, gotta break them all. Meanwhile, Orca is just watching this display and realizing, what have I done? There we go. Thank you, Orca. Seriously, Orca's probably just going, seeing that display and just realizing, what have I done? All right, so we have our sword, which means we can do things like chop down trees, which is what you need to do. You need to have a sword in order to go into the forest because basically there are trees blocking the way for the road. If you cut down the trees right here, you can get yourself a yellow rupee, which is worth 10, as I've mentioned beforehand. I don't keep meaning to talk to you. I'm sorry, my dear. Well, All right, so let's go on and head off now towards the forest and see if we can help that girl out. What do you want, kid? I'm gonna go and be a hero. You can go and leave me alone, kid. Also fix that little snot bubble. So first things into being a hero is lawn maintenance. Make sure you cut all the grass you see, so then you can get things like rupees, hearts, special little treasures, and uncover things like alcoves. And that kid is still following me. How is that kid still following me? So, man with a sickle, what do you think? Am I not cool with this hero sword? As I am literally doing your job for you and cutting all this grass, which is kind of pointless because, in all honesty, this grass grows back the moment you go inside and out of a door. Which, one thing I need to bring up, actually, one thing that's cool is that the cutscenes in this game are actually real time. So if there is, say, chopped grass inside, like where grass would be obstructing a camera view, and you're able to cut it, it will stay cut inside the cutscene. So that's actually pretty cool that the cutscenes in this game are in real time. It's a small little detail. I mean, there aren't many different forms. It's not like Kingdom Hearts 2 where you could have your drive forms be inside the cutscenes, but it's still a nice little touch. What does this sign say? No entry. The forest is closed until the suspension bridge repairs are complete. Well, screw that. And screw you, sign. I am Link, wielder of a sword, and I am going to disappoint Orca so much. It's quite bad. But as we move up, the Outset Island music ends up decrescendoing, which is a nice little touch. And, we got rupees right here, but what does this sign say? Fairy fountain sight ahead, increase your fortune. That's interesting. Now die, sign. You are useless to me now. And, really? just 2 planks are needed in order to complete the suspension bridge. I mean, come on. That's pretty simple. All right, so let us get ourselves some rupees while we're inside this grass. What I was initially trying to do was trying to have it that this would be in real time all cut, but then I realized the moment I go inside this forest and come back out, the grass will end up growing back. So honestly, I just wasted my time right there. That happens from time to time. I'm a little bit spacey. But welcome to Outset's Forest. Well, that's very lucky. She would have hit the ground, she probably would have died. Or at least taken a heart of damage. That's how that works, right? Not just Link. Everyone just has 3 hearts as their maximum. But if you crawl inside this log, you can get yourself a red rupee worth 20. So that's very helpful. And right over here, we have a creature. Meet bokoblins. Annoying little pig-like creatures, very easy to defeat. They actually drop an item known as joy pendants. I will be farming those later as they are part of a side quest. In total, I believe I'm going to need 60 of the things, so that's going to be a lot of bokoblins to kill. All right, what does this say? If I can read the sign. Fairy Fountain Site. This spot marks the remains of an ancient fairy fountain. The legendary hero was said to have come here after battle so the fairies could ease his weariness. It was also said that whoever met the great fairy who lived here would be blessed with great fortune, so it came to be known as the Fountain of the Fortune Goddess. And now it is blocked by a rock, so I can't increase my fortune. We will be coming back to Outset Island later in the game to be dealing with that. But go right here, and some Helm Rocks come, dropping bokoblins. That's one way for an airstrike. And now they die. So, that's 1. Ooh, rupee. Now I can have 125, which is nice and even. And goodbye. You okay? It's my birthday. Stop making fun of me. Oh! Tetra, huh? So that's your name. Well, it was technically your crew that shot the bird that caused the bird to drop you on a summit. So, yeah. Yeah, what about me? Do I get a prize? Oh, I get shafted. Good to know! Not even a thank you. All I was looking for was a thank you. Shit. Wait, Link. Link, 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 you're on a mountain. Well, this isn't good. Grandma's not gonna like this in the slightest.